What's going on, everybody? Curtis Wilkerson here with Inside Arkansas and the Pod at the Palace, coming to you with another episode of the Hoop Hogs Video Mailbag, coming to you from Birmingham, Alabama today. Reason being, we're here for SEC Basketball Media Days. I don't have my webcam or my microphone, so I figured I'd just take a little stroll through the neighborhood while I did today's mailbag episode. So appreciate you guys again for all the engagement, interaction. It's been a lot of fun. Before we get started, if you're not tapped in to our YouTube channel at Inside Arkansas, if you haven't been checking out InsideArkansas.com for our written content, you're really missing out. We cover football at a high level, but man, with basketball season ramping up, we've really fired it up and covering Razorback athletics from all aspects. So today's video mailbag question comes from Johnny, and he was asking about team chemistry. You know, Arkansas struggled in that department last year. I don't think that's a secret. Everybody saw that, and then he wants to know, hey, is that something that we need to be worried about with this year's team? A bunch of new faces and new places, a bunch of dudes who quite honestly are used to having the ball in their hands, used to kind of being the man where they were last season. I think that is a fair concern to have, but maybe for different reasons than you're letting on. I'm not so concerned about Arkansas having chemistry issues with, you know, guys not getting enough shots up, wanting the ball in their hands more, everything like that. I don't get that vibe at all. So far, you never really know until you get into the season and you see how it all shakes out with minutes and the rotation and who's the go-to guy and who are they running the sets and the plays for. Time will tell on that. I'm not worried about that, but I'm a little worried about chemistry issues early in the season. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe chemistry isn't the word so much as on-floor continuity, maybe. And the reason being, Arkansas just isn't healthy. Jonas Adu hasn't practiced a ton this summer. He's going to be ready, I think, come game time for the Razorbacks. But, you know, what does that mean? Like, how much in the flow of things is he going to be? Honestly, I thought you could tell at the tip-off tour in Pine Bluff. He did a few things, some 5-on-0 offense, and he looked a little bit, I don't want to say lost, but just maybe uncomfortable out there. Wasn't in the same kind of free flow of the offense. It wasn't a second nature for him as some of the other guys. They're going to have to get him up to speed. Adute Thiero is such a big part of what Arkansas is doing. He's been out here recently, again, a guy that I think if they played a game on Sunday, he would have been able to play, but he's been missing some valuable time there. And then Nelly Davis, who probably is going to be your best player, your go-to guy, the dude who's going to be taking a bulk of the shots. He has been out now. Looks like he's got a brace or a cast or something on that wrist. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be something that keeps him out for an extremely extended period of time. But when three of your best players, I would argue three guys who are projected starters for this team, just haven't been out there, you wonder what it's going to look like when they come back, because they're all going to be such huge factors for Arkansas. Is it going to take a little bit extra time for these guys to mesh, gel, come together on the floor? If you want to be concerned about that, I think it's very much valid. Now, there's downside to your best players being out. You want to know if they're going to be in condition, or are they going to be rusty? Is it going to take some time, you know, for them to figure out the lineups, the rotations, everything like that? Sure. The upside, though, is other guys are getting better because of this, and that's something that John Calipari mentioned in his press conference after the event at Pine Bluff on Sunday. Is, hey, you know, we've had three guys who are really important key cogs to the operation who have been out, and it kind of takes away from what I think is going to be the identity of the team, which is they're kind of big, strong, and physical, should be good defensively, should be good on the glass. All three of those guys are huge factors in those particular areas of the game. But what you are seeing now is Arkansas is forced to do things a little bit differently. They're trying some different lineup combinations that maybe they otherwise wouldn't have. You know, he mentioned because of this, because Nelly's been out, all of a sudden you're seeing Boogie Fland and DJ Wagner share the floor more than you normally would have, because when they're scrimmaging, for the most part, it's a situation where they're the point guards on the respective teams. You know, one's on red, one's on white. They're competing against each other. Now they're playing together, and I think what they're realizing is, you know what, we could do this. These dudes could play together. They could share the floor together. And so it gives you a little bit more length in your lineups than maybe you thought you had initially. So from that standpoint, it's a good thing. It's good for the freshmen because they've stayed healthy. Boogie Fland, Carter Knox, Billy Richmond, what do young guys need? They need reps. That's what they need, and they're getting every single rep that's available out there right now. They're going to be better because of it, because these other guys have been out. They're going to gain some valuable experience, and then they're going to be better as a team when these guys get back and get reintegrated into the roster. So do I have big picture concerns about like attitudes or too many alphas in the room, whatever? No, I'm really not too worried about that. But do I think it's going to be a little bit of a process for these guys to get their chemistry going, the on-floor continuity, have the offense with the appropriate spacing, the timing, the cuts. That was going to be a little bit of a thing anyway, I think, when you just have 9 brand new guys on a roster in new surroundings. It's going to take some time for that to gel. You got to learn your teammates, their tendencies, where they like to get the ball, how they cut, how they move. That factors in for everyone, and so that process might be just a little bit delayed now. Whatever, they'll be fine. Coach Cal's been big about preaching patience, and I think that's what we're going to have with this team. Obviously, it's going to be an important deal for Arkansas to figure it out a little bit sooner rather than later, given the schedule that they're facing. Thank God Kansas and TCU are just exhibition games, but it gets pretty real pretty quick for the Razorbacks after that. So appreciate the question, Johnny, man. It was a good one. And appreciate everybody again for staying tapped in with what we got going on. And stay tuned. This is going out Tuesday morning, which means by the time most people are watching it, we're already going to be out at SEC Media Day. It's going to be exciting to talk to John Calipari. Nellie Davis is going to be there. Adu Thiero is going to be there. And then a bunch of other guys that we're looking forward to talking to. Like, I can't wait to talk to the Tennessee players and get their vibe for you. Your man Jonas Adu bailed on you. He's at Arkansas now. What do you think about this SEC opener on January 4th at Tennessee? Can't wait for that. Elijah Martin is at Florida now. He shared the backcourt with Nellie Davis on a Final Four team. Like, hey, how do you feel about facing your boy that you guys have been through the wars with? Jackson Robinson's going to be there. That's going to be a lot of fun. Chris Beard's going to be there. I wonder if anybody's going to ask him about the Arkansas job. Or Chris Jans, who you guys definitely didn't want to be your coach, but he was rumored to be interviewing, so you never know. But it's always a good time. The media polls already came out. Arkansas is out in the number 16 in the AP Top 25. That's a pretty good starting spot for them. Doesn't matter in the preseason, but you'd like to have a little bit of respect. That means people think you're good. It means they think you're talented. It's all there on paper, the pieces, right? Picked 4th in the SEC. Okay, that'll work. You take that. Top 4 used to mean double bye. I don't know if they're going to do that anymore because the league has expanded, but we'll figure it out. So at any rate, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll be back tomorrow, bright and early, for the Hoop Hogs Video Mailbag. Appreciate you guys. It's been Curtis Wilkerson with Inside Arkansas on the pod at the Palace. Have a good one. Appreciate y'all.